Welcome to VARINDIA News Hour. The changing mindset into cybersecurity hygiene. It is absolutely true that ransomware is on the rise. In both the physical and digital worlds, the primary way criminals get in is through an unlocked door. Organizations that do not apply or maintain basic security hygiene like patching, applying updates, or turning on multifactor authentication will face much greater exposure to attacks including ransomware or distributed denial of service, that is DDoS. The most secure company is the one that recently was breached. The reasoning was that companies that recently experienced a material breach would naturally make the investments necessary to strengthen their security program to minimize the likelihood of such an event occurring again. On the surface, this seems that it would be true, particularly for companies experiencing a system-encrypting ransomware event. However, companies don't show improvement in the cybersecurity hygiene of their internet presence 1 year after a system-encrypting ransomware event. At best, they take one step forward and one step back, showing improvement in software patching and degradation in restricting access to unsafe network services. Cybercriminals are using malware that is posed as legitimate software updates, causing an increase in insider risk. Basic security hygiene still protects against 98% of attacks. The increasing prevalence of cloud-based services, mobile computing, Internet of Things, and bring your own device, that is BYOD, in hybrid work environments has changed the technology landscape for today's enterprise. Security architectures that rely on network firewalls and virtual private networks, that is VPNs, to isolate and restrict access to corporate technology resources and services are no longer sufficient for a workforce that regularly requires access to applications and resources that exist beyond traditional corporate network boundaries. The shift to the internet as the network of choice and the continuously evolving threats led Microsoft to adopt a zero-trust security model. There is a 130% year-over-year increase in ransomware attacks against organizations. Hence, zero trust has become a priority of enterprise security leaders around the world. We are facing a moment of reckoning as the world witnesses a rise in increasingly sophisticated and expensive cybersecurity attacks. This reality, coupled with work entering its next great disruption, the move to hybrid environments, has ushered in an urgent opportunity for all companies around the world to adopt a zero-trust approach and assume all activities, even by trusted users, could be an attempt breach. Signals across the industry highlight that every company needs to create a culture of security and modernize their approach to ensure they are protected. Let's look into today's headlines in VARINDIA. Huawei committed to support Indian customers despite facing multiple challenges. Chinese telecom gear maker Huawei said that it has been facing multiple challenges in India but is committed to support its customers in the country. Huawei India CEO David Lee said that the company is monitoring and evaluating the situation in the country. He further added that the company remains committed to supporting its customers with the latest technology and best services. GST may get applied on crypto transactions. The tax department is probing on how exchanges that allow trading in India manage their cryptocurrency float and whether there is any element or any transaction where goods and services tax could apply. The tax department is also looking over whether transactions between two exchanges that are recorded as transfer could also attract additional GST. Currently, several exchanges operate in India, but only a handful of them tend to have actual cryptocurrencies on their books to be bought or sold by Indian traders and investors. IndMoney raises total of $86 million at $650 million valuation. Wealth management platform IndMoney has raised an additional $11 million as part of its ongoing funding round led by Singapore-based 16th Street Capital, closing the fundraise at $86 million and valuing it at $650 million post-money. The company is planning to launch a credit card-based product for users linked with its neobank. IndMoney has 4 million registered users and has facilitated $1.1 billion in investments. HP Inc. to acquire Poly. HP Inc. announced a blockbuster deal to acquire Poly, a global provider of video conferencing hardware, conference phones and headsets for $40 per share or $3.3 billion in a bid to boost HP's hybrid office business. HP will use a combination of balance sheet cash and new debt to finance the acquisition. HP expects to close the acquisition by the end of this year after getting approvals from Poly shareholders and federal regulators. Intel announces the 12th Gen Intel Core i9-12900KS desktop processor. Intel has announced the availability of its new 12th Gen Intel Core i9-12900KS, the world's fastest desktop processor that delivers up to 5.5 GHz max turbo frequency in spec with Intel Thermal Velocity Boost and features Intel Adaptive Boost technology to provide the ultimate gaming experience. This special edition processor will be available from next month with a recommended customer price starting at $739. That's all for now. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to VARINDIA News Magazine. You can download the VARINDIA app from Google Play Store and Apple App Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.